Hello future CAs, welcome back to my channel again, your one-stop guide for CA exams. So in this video I am breaking down the complete ICAI CA Final AFM webinar summary in the most practical way possible. So I have carefully analyzed the session and summarized all the important points chapter wise so that you know exactly what to study and what not to miss. Not just that, I'll also cover the key student queries that were addressed in the webinar. Things like chapter-wise important topics and student queries like rounding off assumptions. So basically the areas where most of the students lose marks. These were covered in that webinar. So if you are aiming for an exemption in AFM, make sure to watch this video till the end because this is going to save you a lot of time and confusion. So let's get started. Guys, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe for more CA exam related strategies, guidance and videos. So guys, when you visit my channel, do check out the playlist section. You will find several curated playlists for the CA final exams. Make sure to explore them and watch the videos in order to get maximum benefit from each topic. So first chapter-wise important topics were mentioned in the webinar. So these are based on the past exam trends. However, please note that do not do selective study. Study all the chapters from the syllabus. So first we have chapter 1 Financial Policy and Corporate Strategy. So some of the important topics from this chapter are the advanced role of CFO in matters such as value creation, the strategic decision-making framework, and the interface between financial policy and strategic management, and balancing financial goal versus sustainable growth. So the most important topic in this chapter is sustainable growth. So please go through that. Then we have chapter 2 Risk Management. Some important topics from this chapter are identification of various types of risk faced by an organization, evaluation of financial risk, then value at risk, and then appropriate methods for identification and management of financial risk. Then we have chapter 3 Advanced Capital Budgeting Decisions. It's better you get a notebook and note down the important topics for all the chapter. So basically this topic is an extension of capital budgeting which was covered in the intermediate level financial management paper. So some important topics are some theoretical portion on current trends in capital budgeting, then risk in investment decision, and internal and external factors affecting capital budgeting decision. And some other topics are methods incorporating risk in capital budgeting, the adjusted present value approach, and also another important topic is the determination of the optimum replacement cycle. Then chapter 4 Security Analysis. So under this the important topics are fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and efficient market hypothesis analysis. Apart from this, equity research and tools are also important. Then chapter number 5, Security Valuation. So this is one of the most important topic from exam perspective. And some important topics are theory relating to valuation, return concepts, equity risk premium, return on equity, and the selection of appropriate discount rate in relation to cash flow. And then some numerical topics are valuation of equity shares, preference shares, bonds, computation of bond duration, the yield curve, and the free cash flow to the firm and equity. And another important topic is role and responsibility of valuers and the precaution that should be taken by a valuer before accepting any valuation assignment. Then portfolio management, chapter number 6. So under this some important topics are portfolio analysis, portfolio selection, capital market theory, portfolio revision, portfolio evaluation, asset allocation, and fixed income portfolios. So apart from these theoretical areas, numerical questions are also very important from this chapter. And another important area is risk analysis of investment in distressed securities and alternative investment avenues. Then chapter 7, securitization. So here the important topics are various aspects of securitization, including its concepts, benefits, participant mechanism and associated problem. And then we have securitization instruments, pricing of these instruments and risks involved in securitization. And another important concept is the concept of tokenization. Then chapter 8, mutual funds. So this is actually a small topic, but still it is very important from exam viewpoint, hence do not ignore the chapter. So this includes some topics of mutual funds like their meaning, types, advantages, disadvantages and evaluation. And some numerical questions also will be asked from this chapter. Then chapter 9, derivative analysis and valuation. So under this some important topics are forwards, futures and option contracts. Then hedging using futures. And then valuation of these three types of contract, that is forward, future and options. Then various aspects of option contracts such as Greek options and exotic options. And then we have recent development in derivative markets, including credit derivatives, weather derivatives and electricity derivatives. Then real options and derivative mishaps and lessons learned from them. Next we have chapter number 10, foreign exchange exposure and risk management. So under this the important topics are factors affecting foreign exchange rate, role of SWIFT in foreign exchange transaction, national and international payment gateways, exchange rate determination and foreign currency market. And then we have the management and hedging of foreign exchange risk. Then chapter 11, international financial management. So under this the important topics are raising funds from international sources and the International Financial Service Center, that is the GIFT City, international receivables management and multinational inventory management. And another topic is international capital budgeting, including topics like adjusted present value method. And also you must be aware of the practical aspects of multinational cash management. Then chapter number 12, interest rate risk management. So in this you must understand the theoretical background of benchmark rate and the concept of hedging interest rate risk. And also another important topic is traditional and modern methods of hedging interest rate risk, and numerical problems will be asked on topics such as forward rate agreements, interest rate futures, interest rate options and swaps. Then chapter number 13, business valuation. So some important topics under this are conceptual framework of valuation, various approaches and methods of valuation. These include asset-based valuation models, earning-based models and cash flow-based model. And then you must be aware of estimation of beta of an unlisted company, relative valuation and other approaches to value measurement, such as economic value added, market value added and shareholder value added. And other important topics are going concern and non-going concern valuation, valuation of distressed companies, valuation of startups, valuation of digital platforms, valuation of professional and consultancy firms, and also the impact of ESG on valuation. Then chapter 14, mergers, acquisition and corporate restructuring. In this go through the topics such as conceptual framework, rationale and forms of mergers and acquisition, and some other aspects relating to mergers and acquisition like financial framework, takeover defenses, takeover tactics, takeover regulation and ownership restructuring. A very important aspect of this topic is its practical application in real world. Particularly, you must understand the topics of negotiation over the share exchange ratio among companies involved in merger and acquisition. Then we have the last chapter, startup finance. So in this, go through topics such as pitch presentation, the concept of unicorn, the Startup India initiative by the Government of India, and the sources of funding for startup, and succession planning in business. So these were the important topics chapter wise. And also it was mentioned specifically not to ignore theory in any chapter. Please go through the theory in detail for all the chapters. Now coming to the second part of the webinar. So some student related queries were answered in this part of the webinar. So first was relating to assumptions. So it was mentioned that please read the question carefully and do not make any assumption by yourself. First you have to see the question if there is any hint in the question, and you have to go by whatever instructions are given in the question. And suppose there is any ambiguity in the question only, then you have to make the relevant assumption. And the assumption should be possible and it should be realistic. And then the next query answered was relating to dividend. So if it's given as dividend paid in the question, then it must be considered as D0. And if it is given as dividend expected, then it is D1. However, if in the question nothing is mentioned, they have just written as dividend, then what you can do is consider it either as D0 and D1 and proceed with your answer. In both the cases, you will get the marks. Just in the note section, in the assumptions, write clearly whether you are considering it as D1 or D0. Next, some queries were asked by the students relating to rounding off. So this was explained in detail. So for Forex related question, for rounding off, what you have to do is you have to see in the question itself. So in question itself, the quote will be given, right? So you have to check for how much decimal point they have given. If it's for 2 decimal point, in your answer also follow the same. If it's for 3, in your answer also write up to 3 decimal point. Then for questions relating to present value factor, you have to round off the answer to 3 decimal point. And for questions relating to valuation, security valuation, bond valuation, debenture, etc., you have to round off the decimal to 2 decimal point. And for questions relating to capital budgeting, round off your answer to 4 decimal points. And then some important suggestions were given. So whenever you are solving any numerical problem, write the formula very carefully, because marks will be given for formula also, and then show all the steps clearly in your answer. So you must solve the answer step by step, because for each step mark will be allotted. And then for theory part, some suggestion was given. So now when you are studying for theory, it's better to make relevant notes. So these notes you can use for revision purpose later on. And then they also mentioned that please go through theory for all the chapters, because from any chapter theory might be asked. And even in the exam also you can write in your own language. It's not like theory you should just copy paste from the textbook. But the key points, whatever is there, that should be written in the exam. Some key words cannot be missed. So that you have to write in the exam. So guys, that was your complete ICAI CA Final AFM webinar summary, chapter wise important topics plus all the key student queries decoded. Now your next step is simple. Don't just watch this video, implement it. Make sure you align your preparation exactly with these insights, because that's what ICAI is indirectly guiding you towards. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and share the video with your friends. And also subscribe to my channel for more CA Final strategies, guidance and tips. And remember, failing to plan is planning to fail. So plan your strategy today and start executing today itself. All the best for your preparation, and I will see you all in the next video.